Good morning, everyone. Happy hot, hot day in July. Well, it's good to see everybody this morning. My name's Ann Hudgens, and I'm currently serving as the president of the Unity Council. And for those of you who are new, either in the sanctuary or online, we're currently in a weird church experiment. So our interim minister, Jim Yaw and Sharon Bush, Jim did a talk some time ago saying, what if, well, he called us a weird church, and then he said, what if part of the premise of that weird church is, what if we're all leaders? What if all of us, what if the community, what if we share leadership for this church? And so in this process of having interim ministers, Sharon and Jim are speaking twice a month, and members of our congregation are speaking twice a month, or we have guest speakers. So the richness of what's happening for us is that at least twice a month, we're hearing the gifts and talents of members of our community. And every time it happens, we are blessed with knowing each other better. We see gifts and talents we didn't know we all had. And the community is growing closer and closer. So our speaker today is Gloria Willis, our own Gloria. So it will be glorious, as her paintings are. So if anybody's new here today, we've got a new, actually you don't have to be new, but we've got a welcome table set up under the treehouse. So our strategy going forward will be to staff that table after the services, so that if you want to learn more about Unity, you'd like a welcome packet or to connect with somebody, the welcome table is right there in the back of the church. We're rotating volunteers in the treehouse, and I've heard that it's pretty fun. So if anybody wants a chance to spend time up there, you can run the slides. Well, let me tell you a little bit about what's coming up. July is Pride Month. It's our opportunity to celebrate our LGBTQ folks, people of all identities. And we're headed to the Pride March, and we're headed to Pride Day with the message that our Unity community is open to all. And we celebrate all identities, all spiritual paths. And if you want a safe place to be spiritual but not religious, you can come poke your head in Unity and see if it's for you. Our kids, our Family Friday night activity falls on Friday night this year. And the group has decided to have the kids participate in the Pride March downtown. So the parents and families are welcome to join, encouraged to join. And if you'd like to participate in the family community night, we'll have a march, and then we have a booth on Saturday. Jim, do you want to help me show the banner? Check this out. We're high tech of thanks to Arlene Brown for getting us started on our brunches following the service. So there will be a rotating place that people go to meet up to have lunch together. If you aren't eating lunch, don't have the money to eat lunch, would like to just join, you can have a beverage and community. So please, please come. Today it's at the Rainbow. So, and hi Arlene, and we'll post where it is every week so you know where to go. Next week, Jan Garrett and J.D. Martin, who are professional New Thought singers, will be doing the message, and we will be having a potluck here in the welcome room following the service. And J.D. and Jan have offered to sing more if we would like them to do that. Julie has a sign-up sheet to pass around, so we help get volunteers for setup and cleanup. I've been told that those things don't happen by themselves. All right. I think that's all that I need to say in the announcements. Oh, today is birthday Sunday, so at the end of the service, Joellen's going to lead us in happy birthday for all July babies. And yesterday was Gloria's birthday. All right. Let's take a big old deep breath. And we'll share in the community blessing together. Our unity centers us in light and peace, allowing us to recognize our God within and to radiate that love to the world. Thank you.
So for our first song, our community song, we are doing a chant. And you are welcome, invited, encouraged to sing along. We'll be playing it through a few times, so hopefully you'll feel comfortable with it soon enough.
You're actually required to sing. Otherwise, I'm all you got. I'm going to sing it through once, and then we'll start it again. And David, you can sing an octave lower than I do. Oh, I'm also channeling Ilan Shamir. I don't know who of you knows him, but he went here for years and years. He does the advice from a tree, advice from a mountain, advice from everything, posters that you see all over the world. And he always has a drum, and he comes up and he goes, 1,000 things went right today. And that's how I feel. So one time, just listen. I am one with the higher power. You are one with the God within. We are one with all creation. We are one, my friend. That's it. And then we just sing it over and over and over. And look, words. I can't. That's why I got, two. I am one with the higher power. You are one with the God within. We are one with all creation. We are one, my friend. I am one with the higher power. You are one with the God within. We are one with all creation. We are one, my friend. I am one with the higher power. You are one with the God within. We are one with all creation. We are one, my friend. I am one with the higher power. You are one with the God within. We are one with all creation. God within. We are one with all creation. We are one, my friend. I am one with the higher power. You are one with the God within. We are one with all creation. We are one, my friend. One more. I am one with the higher power. You are one with the God within. We are one with all creation. We are one, my friend. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Sharon.
Good morning, Sharon.
I tried to print this out, but my printer was not friendly this morning, so it's on my phone. So excuse the reading of my phone here. The reading I'm doing today, as you can see, is an excerpt from the Book of Truth, which is channeled text by Paul Selig. Paul's guides deliver the information, and the result is an almost complete text with very few edits. So while reading this book, at times there's an experience of a conversation between Paul and his guides who channel through him. Paul has questions often while his guides dictate, and sometimes they address his questions. So you'll hear a couple of those questions within this reading. When it says, he asks, the guides are referring to Paul. I find that sometimes the flow of information is not in the order that I understand it best, and I have to reread the passages, and I can really integrate. But while preparing to read today, I found myself wanting to change the order of paragraphs, but of course it's important not to change things. So. Not for my own comfort level, right? So I just happen to be reading this book right now, and what a coincidence that awakening to truth is the theme for today. So here we go. If you've excluded God, let me try again here. There we go. If you've excluded God from the physical realm and placed it upon a cloud somewhere unreachable, you have affirmed separation. But when God is the tree and the rug beneath your feet, and the man you see across the way, and in all those people over there that don't do what you want, you will begin to understand truth. Every time you claim yourself as inferior to another, you are lying. Every time you condemn yourself for what you have done or could do or believe what you think is wrong about you, you are lying. Now, how is this so, he asks. If I did something that I regret, I have the right to blame myself. You have the right to do anything you like, but if you want to be in truth, you actually must understand that anything that was done or expressed by you at any time was simply how you knew yourself and the expression of you as an active being in consort with your needs. Or perhaps your fears, yes, at the time. But they were just what they were, things done. They were not who you are. You may have expressed as who you were at that moment in time, but who you were at that level of expression more than likely was acting out of alignment. To blame the self for acting out of alignment condemns the self, which actually reinforces the misalignment, strengthens its hold upon you, and supports fear. Now, in response to what Paul is thinking, yes, you do learn from error, but not from blaming the self. If you touch a hot pan, you scald your finger. You know not to do it again. You don't berate yourself for the rest of your life for having had a sting upon the finger. Now, the aspects of you that are in alignment are also being expressed by you, and it becomes imperative for this teaching to be understood, to know that you are not wrong. When something is disassembled and perhaps put back together again, the aspects of the self that are operating well are simply placed forward. They keep. They have the right to be as they are because they are serving their purpose. And we say this only because some of you are intending to use a teaching like this to denounce the self or assume that you all must be wrong. Well, what is right, he asks. What aspects of me are operating well, are in alignment with truth? Every time you look at a human being, and we say this to you, Paul, and you recognize their worth, their inherent right to be, you are in alignment. Every time you lift your frequency by claiming truth, I know who I am as an aspect of the Creator, what I am in manifestation, and how I serve, you are elevating your broadcast to support others in their awakening. Now, some of you believe that your own evolution or comprehension of the self as spiritual is the purpose of this text. In fact, it is not. It's the being of it as truth. But please comprehend this. By being truth, you light the world. So this is not done just for you, but for all mankind. To believe yourself to be inferior is to deny the truth of who you are. To believe another man as unworthy is to deny the truth of who he is. To stand in your knowing as truth when lies are thrown is an act of truth. And the truth will hold, and the claim of freedom. I know who I am, what I am, how I serve. I am here, I am here, I am here. Will witness for you a transformed plane.
All right. That was wonderful. Yeah. Thank you. So we're trying something a little different today since we don't have a lot of musicians around today. We ready? Also, this is a song that many of you are probably familiar with, and please, again, you're not required, but you are invited to sing along to Peace Train. Now I've been happy lately, thinking about the good things to come, and I believe it could be something good has begun. Oh, I've been smiling lately, dreaming about the world as the one, and I believe it could be someday it's going to come. 'Cause out on the edge of darkness there rides a peace train. Oh, peace train, take this country, come take me home again. Now I've been smiling lately, thinking about the good things to come, and I believe it could be something good has begun. Oh, peace train, sounding louder, glide on the peace train. Ooh-ah-ee-ah-oh-ah, come on now, peace train. Yes, peace train, holy roller, everyone up on the peace train. Ooh-ah-ee-ah-oh-ah, come on the peace train. Now get your bags together, go bring your good friends too, 'cause it is getting nearer, it soon will be with you. Now come and join the living, it's not so far from you, and it's getting nearer, soon it will all be true. Oh, peace train, sounding louder, glide on the peace train. Ooh-ah-ee-ah-oh-ah, come on now, peace train. Get up and dance if you're inspired to. Now I've been crying lately, thinking about the world as it is. Why must we go on hating? Why can't we live in bliss? 'Cause out on the edge of darkness there lies a peace train. Oh, peace train, take this country, come take me home again. Oh, peace train, sounding louder, glide on the peace train. Ooh-ah-ee-ah-oh-ah, come on, no peace train. Oh, peace train, holy roller, everyone come on the peace train. Ooh-ah-ee-ah-oh-ah, come on, no peace train. Peace train, peace train.
Well, that was amazing. I'm going to put this up here a little bit. Get my myself situated. I want to say hi and welcome to everybody that came today. I want to thank Leanne for jumping in with Elle's absence. Thank you so much. And thank you, Unity, for allowing this participation from people that are here every Sunday. And I just feel grateful that that something came to me that I could share, and so that's why I'm here today. So what I want to tell you, I want to share with you something that happened shortly after Elle and I chose the Peace Train as a song. Immediately, almost immediately, came this vision of us all being in line. Okay, we have our tickets, and we are waiting for the Peace Train. We don't know exactly where we're going, but we know it's going to be good. And so as I looked to the right, what I saw was a line of people that extended as far as I could see. So many people wanted to be on the Peace Train. So the train came, we got on the train. There was room for everybody, okay? Everybody had a chair. Everybody was filled with light. They were happy, greeting each other, hugging each other, you know, and so here we are. We're going someplace. We're on an adventure together, right? And as I looked around, though, one thing came to me is that there was no baggage. Nobody had any baggage. There was no baggage allowed on the Peace Train. So I think that that's a metaphor that we can use a little bit, you know, is that, okay, that's really what I feel like part of what I have to share today is about that. And so I've got all these notes. I don't know if I'll be able to share everything that I've written down here, but there is a lot that I want to share this morning. I asked to share about the book study that we just completed, which was a 12-week study on Joel Goldsmith's book, The Realization of Oneness. And it was a 12-week study, and we had committed members for it. And what I noticed at the beginning of it was there was lots of questions about, is this really so? Joel has been known as being somewhat radical at times. If you don't know him, he passed away in 1964. I'm going to try to slow down a little bit because I could feel the train taking over here. He passed away in 1964. He was a noted metaphysician, teacher, mystic, and he taught all over the world. He was a healer as well. And his work is still being highly used and studied with different groups. You know, there's different groups. And I want to read one thing that that made a lot of sense to me in my own search. He says, I have but one wish for the students of the infinite way and all others on the path, and that is not that they accept what my experience in and with God has been, but that each one may himself experience God, know God, feel God, love and understand God, and finally realize Godhood. So as I read that, I understood a little bit more about my own journey. I grew up in a large family in North Dakota, and church was a very big part of our life. We never missed church. And we all participated. My dad was on the board, my mother was in the ladies' guild, my brothers were the ushers, and I was the church organist for years. And so we never missed church, but God was never mentioned in my household. I never heard either of my parents ever say the word God. And so I grew up thinking, well, church, I like how I feel when I'm in church. It's kind of a community, and my neighbors are here, and I know people, and all that kind of thing. But as I got older, I realized there was like this emptiness inside. Our church, which is a Lutheran church, was a lot about repetition, reciting creeds, memorizing things, and so that's what it was. It was words, but it wasn't necessarily the feeling of God, which is what Joel describes here. That's what I wanted. So as I set out on my career journey, I lived in many different cities and things. I looked at all the different churches, and I gravitated to the metaphysical churches. have to say, that unity was probably the one that made me feel the most welcome, was the warmest, the acceptance here. And so that's why I keep coming back to it. And so grateful to be part of this church, and so grateful to feel that we here are actually demonstrating oneness every single week. We bought our ticket. We're here, and we're going somewhere, and we don't know exactly where. Well, back to the peace train. We're all on this peace train. I'm asking myself, where are we going? And so the message came, you'll find out. And so we stopped, the train stopped, right? And we arrived at this most beautiful village with beautiful flowers and trees and bushes, and there were even some friendly dogs and cats that we could love there. And we were invited to stay there and live in harmony and peace there. Everyone was given a place to stay. And everything was provided. We had plenty of food. Everything that we needed was provided. And within a few days, we were each given an assignment that matched our skills and our abilities, something uniquely ours that nobody else could give exactly the same way as us. And so that's where we were, and we continued to, whoever wanted to live there could live there. And that was my vision. It was so clear, and I thought it's so clear too with this message about oneness, that we're on an adventure where, we can leave our baggage behind. That's what the peace train does. You're going to leave your baggage behind and just go forward into this feeling. But ask yourself, would I be willing to live in a world where it was totally peaceful and harmonious? The world tells us that that's not possible, with all the different things that happen all the time. This is normal. Life is ups and downs, right? Isn't that kind of what we're taught? Life's got ups and it has downs, and we just sort of go along with that. But in Joel's book, this book in particular, he doesn't really talk too much about baggage. He talks about twoness. And I learned so much about that in this book in the few weeks that we were together. And I just want to give this an invitation before I go on, is that we are going to have another book study starting in a couple of weeks. It's another of Joel's books, and it's called The Practice of Oneness. No, it's called The Practicing the Presence. And I can't think of a better book and a better study and practice right now than that. And so that will start in a couple weeks, July 21st. If, for instance, you would like to be a part of it, but the timing just doesn't work exactly right for you, well, let us know so that maybe you could come a week later or something. We're also offering it on Zoom if there are enough people that are interested. So I just grew so much during this 12 weeks. I just want to continue it and invite you to come too. So one of the things I learned in this book study was how important it is to notice that we're in twoness. To just notice it. What am I thinking about? Do I have resentments towards people? Do I feel afraid? Am I feeling hurt about something, anything? Because when we're there, we can't exactly be in oneness at the same time. It's almost impossible. So we have to recognize it, notice it, and be willing to dismiss it. And the question comes then, how do I do that? Because a lot of us are carrying baggage around, right? Some of us anyway, maybe not you. I know I have a little bit. So, let's see, I've got all these notes. I'm going to try to calm down a little bit. Okay, so noticing we're in oneness or twoness is really important. I can be driving down the street and I can say, am I in oneness or am I in twoness? And sure enough, I'll be having a conversation that's way down the road, that's not really related to just seeing the beautiful clouds, the beautiful scenery, the people that I'm going to be with. In all of Joel's books, he bases it on 4 principles. One is the nature of God, that we all need to know. We all need to know what the nature of God is. And he keeps it fairly simple, because what he says the nature of God is the omnipresence, knowing that God is always present with us and within us, and we are never separated from that, only if we do it. If we go someplace else, if we're in twoness, we're not in oneness. And so to notice that is really important. The second step, and how will I know if I'm in oneness how will I know if God is present with me? This is the important part. I will only know that if I'm at peace inside. I only know it if I'm at peace, because otherwise we're just doing words sometimes. And that's what I found in many of my church experiences. Lots of lectures and things were about words, but not necessarily what it feels like to really be connected to God. And so what I suppose really loved about this is that I feel like I kind of had a roadmap in this book to show me more how to get into that feeling of oneness with God, and have filled my heart to be able to share about that. We can notice omnipresence just by noticing all that's around us, right? When we come to a beautiful community, when we go to a family gathering and we feel so much love, when we ourselves feel complete inside, we know that God is with us, and all that God has is with us. The second step is the all-knowing, that God is omniscient. And God is omniscient. And that means that we don't ever have to ask God to do anything for us, because God already knows everything. And so we just need to recognize that, with this particular situation, God is present, and the answers, whatever it is that I'm wanting, are already present as well, as long as I can relax enough and be still enough to hear them. And finally, the third one, which we all know these, right? Omniscience, omnipresence, omnipotence, all powerful, that there isn't a single error that's around us that is more powerful than God. Illness, lack, limitation, fear, political endeavors are not more powerful than our God is. And so the more that we reside in that place, the more of it we see and the more at peace we feel. The second principle he talks about is the nature of error. Since God is all, since God is everything, then this error over here that I'm seeing cannot be real. And so we get a chance to practice that as well. He talks about the individual being, the nature of individual being, is that we each express God in our own way. Each has a unique way of expressing God. And we come into a place of accepting that for ourselves, that I am able to express that. As long as we can recognize that we are in oneness with God, we can express more of God. And finally is the nature of prayer. Prayer in the infinite way and in Joel's studies is a listening. We don't need to tell God or ask God for anything. We only need to listen to what God is wanting to tell us. And so with a receptivity to that, then we will get the messages that we need to hear. So, so one of the key principles or experiences that I had was, and I think I've kind of alluded to it already, is the idea of concepts versus experience. God is love. That's a truth, but it's also a concept, unless we feel it deep within our soul. And how do we feel it? By recognizing all the different ways that God is caring for us, loving us, protecting us, giving to us. You know, it takes a little bit of time sometimes to recognize what a concept is versus what it really experiencing is. But if we want that, it's available. The second thing that I experienced in this class was the idea of stillness and being still, being really still. I don't know about you, but a lot of times when I go into meditation, there's a chatter that's going around, and I can't seem to stop it sometimes. But in this practice of being really still, instructing my mind, peace, be still, I experienced a feeling of that emptiness that I talked about from my childhood. Experience of filling up of it, of a completeness, of it being at peace, just by doing that. And so that felt like a little bit of a miracle for me, maybe a big miracle, I don't know. But the main thing is, and the biggest step probably, is noticing when we're in a different frame of mind than oneness. And so where we go to when we're in oneness is we can then go to the I am, which I am all that God is. You know, I am as God has created me. And so that's not words either. It's, well, how am I being as God created me? Am I being kind? Am I being loving? Am I being truthful? All those kinds of things I want to know and feel within myself. Yes, I am. And then, you know, we are then guided to express that in the world. When we are being, and we have such a great opportunity here to be that, you know, that we then can take that into the world and bless others with it. And we really need to do that, giving like that, to know God. To really know God is to be giving and expressing that. So that was helpful to me. This really is an awakening process, and I've got to see my time here. There was a person that was visiting New York City, and they stopped somebody on the street, and they said, "How do I get to Carnegie Hall?" And the person said, "Practice, practice, practice." So, you know, it doesn't happen overnight just because we know that these are the right things to do. Taking the time to just really practice. Oh, there I go again. Joel recommends that you might need to go inward 100 times a day to go, no, that's not me. And to get yourself back on track. But as we do, it's like pouring clear water into murky water. The more pure water that we pour into the murky water, the more pure water we see. And it's the same within us. The more we are really purifying our consciousness with our practicing, you know, with the clearing out of anything that doesn't fit with God, that isn't from God. And so I just felt that for me, I would never have thought that I would need to practice that many times a day. But it's amazing. The world delivers to us and we get to practice, right? So that's been the thing. And then as our consciousness is cleared, all these wonderful opportunities come. We see people. We see that light. We see that joy in people. And that becomes our life. Whereas if we stay in twoness, that becomes our life. It really is a choice. And so I'm really, really grateful. I'm going to get a little bit of water here. I think I want to... I think I'm going to end with a little miracle that I had in the class for myself. We were talking about consciousness. That everything in our consciousness is going to dictate our world and dictates our behaviors, right? Whatever we're thinking. So I had this experience with my sister where after my mom passed, she came up with all these resistance and defensiveness and stories about me that she passed on to my other brothers and sisters, and I felt falsely accused because she never talked to me about them to get a different point of view, you know. So she was telling all these things about me, and I went from, you know, being the oldest and being with, you know, being so responsible in my childhood years to feeling like I didn't even fit into my family anymore because of what she was saying. And as I realized that everything is in my consciousness, I thought, well, I can remove it from there. I don't need to have this problem in my consciousness anymore because, and then I went through all the different reasons, because I really love my sister, and because, you know, she didn't get another point of view, and because, I don't know, I just had to defend myself, okay, so to speak, to myself. I had to defend myself to myself, and it left. That resentment, that pain that I had been feeling for 5 years, that so much pain just was removed instantly. And I know that you know, that can happen more and more, you know, as we turn into the truth and go, what am I holding in my consciousness? What else am I holding in my consciousness that's keeping me back, you know? What is it? And maybe I've just asked God to reveal it to me, what is it that I need to know about more. So I talked to her yesterday because my brother told me that she had COVID, and so it was a good excuse to call her. I called her, and it was just like we never had any problem whatsoever in our life. It was just very beautiful, and so I'm grateful for that. And so that was my probably biggest aha in the whole class. But I know that as we practice these principles of being with the presence of God in every situation, miraculous things can happen every single day. So I'm going to close with a song that I'd like for you to sing with me. And you know it, it's in our hymnal. I'm going to pass you. Okay. I've been wanting to sing this song for a while, and so we're going to sing it. We're going to sing it kind of softly, and then we'll move right into meditation after that. All right. It's in every one of us to be wise. Find your heart, open up both your eyes. We can all know everything without ever knowing why. It's in every one of us, by and by. It's in every one of us, by and by. All right, let's gently close our eyes and take a couple of deep breaths. And let any other thoughts go away that release like a cloud. Just release them. And be in that stillness where all the answers are, where God is. In this space, we know our oneness with everyone. We know our oneness with God. We know who we are as a child of God. We know our place. And we know that as long as we stay in the present moment, all is well. And so we practice this stillness. We allow ourselves to deeply feel the presence of God as we become still. We give ourselves time, we don't rush. And we wait. We wait for the messages that only we are supposed to receive from God. Any question, any doubt, anything can be taken to God, and we will get the answers. And in this space also, we can be very grateful. We can give gratitude to God for all that we are experiencing. The light that is within us, the love within us, the joy for living. And we say, and so it is. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Gloria. That was beautiful. And now it is time for May the Blessings. So once again, this time you're required to sing. May the blessings of God rest upon me. May God's peace abide in you. May God's presence illuminate my heart now and forevermore. May the blessings of God rest upon you. May God peace abide in you. May God's presence illuminate your heart now and forevermore. May the blessings of God rest upon us. May God's peace abide in us. May God's presence illuminate our hearts now and forevermore. Now and forevermore. Now and forevermore.
Oh, so nice. We've come to the time in our service where we take our offering, and if the ushers would come forward. We're grateful today for your sharing of your love energy, your talents, your resources in support of our community. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. We are so grateful to have Amy Augustine join us with her beautiful voice again today. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you so much for letting me come here today. I'm going to be singing a Michael Franti song. Good, it's up there. Work hard and be nice. I love this song. I was practicing this song, and my kids came in the room, and they started singing along, and they seemed to know every word of it. And I knew they were familiar with it, but I didn't know that they were that familiar with it. And I asked them about it, and my oldest said, "Oh, my teacher played this every day when we came into the classroom." So I was like, oh, that's so cool. Now it's your turn. Yeah, so I hope you like it. Everybody wants a good life and a home. Everybody wants a good friend when they're alone. And everybody don't want nobody to know that everybody's got a soul with a great big hole in the middle of it. Life's a riddle and we try to solve it. So when it's dark, look on the bright side. When it rains, wait on the sunshine. Everybody likes getting them good vibes. Everybody's got a heart on the inside. We could take all the hard lessons, add a little loving and turn them into blessings. Don't complicate it, keep it simple, just work hard. Be nice to people. Work hard and be nice to people, yeah. Work hard and be nice. I don't need a castle or a throne. I'm just trying to be a little more right than I am wrong. And I don't want nobody to know that I got a soul with a great big hole in the middle of it. I'm just trying to fill a little of it. So when it's dark, look on the bright side. And when it rains, wait on the sunshine. Everybody likes getting them good vibes. Everybody's got a heart on the inside. We could take all the hard lessons, add a little loving and turn them into blessings. Don't complicate it, keep it simple, just work hard. Be nice to people. Work hard and be nice to people, yeah, yeah. Work hard and be nice. So keep your eyes to the skies and your feet on the ground. If you got a frown, I'll help you turn it around. Don't let nobody ever tell you you can't be who you want to be, who you want to see in this love or this life or this day. When it's dark, look on the bright side. When it rains, wait on the sunshine. Everybody likes getting them good vibes. Everybody's got a heart on the inside. We could take all the hard lessons, add a little loving and turn them into blessings. Don't complicate it, keep it simple, just work hard and be nice to people. Work hard and be nice to people, yeah. Work hard and be nice. Don't complicate it, keep it simple, just work hard and be nice to people. All of us are equal, just work hard, be nice to people. Thank you.
Give us a first note, and please join us in This Little Light of Mine. Hopefully you know the melody. Here we go. And this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Next verse, here on the corner of Lions and Vine, I'm gonna let it shine. Here on the corner of Lions and Vine, I'm gonna let it shine. Here on the corner of Lions and Vine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
We have a lot of vacationing, a lot of camping going on, but we got to see Jack and Jude today, which was amazing. Little Jack was in the nursery, and Kaya, of course. Do you want to tell them what we talked about? You can say no, it's okay.
Well, at the teen group, we played gosh, I don't remember what it was called. So we played a game, charades. Oh yeah, charades. So we played charades, and so we basically played charades. So we played charades, and we, talked about stuff. One kid, Jude, who was Jude, talked about football, which was interesting. It was pretty cool. He kind of overdid it. And then we played some games and had fun. I guess. And then did the whole thing.
The second Sunday of the month is Birthday Sunday, and that's this Sunday. We are celebrating all the July birthdays, and so who's the other one? Okay, we are celebrating all the July birthdays, the second Sunday of the month, and we know we have one, Gloria. Do we have more birthdays in the month of July? Would you please come up, and we are going to sing happy birthday to you. Okay. Yes. Would you please say your name and the number of the day in the month?
Gloria Willis. My birthday was yesterday, July 9th.
Gloria Willis, July 9th. And July 26th. Tom, July 8th. Mr. Augustine, July 2nd. Okay. Are you ready? Yep, we are ready. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear beloveds. Happy birthday to you.
Yes. Let's go ahead and circle up for our peace song and prayers protection. All right. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. remember lunch at the Rainbow. Join us at the Rainbow.